Did you realize that the human body starts sending unmistakable signs of approaching death several months beforehand? My name is Dr. Wallace, and throughout more than 30 years of working with elderly patients, I have frequently witnessed similar indications. Now I will share with you symptoms that very few people are aware of, but which can become crucial when preparing for a final farewell or dealing with unexpected loss. If you are above 60 years old or have a relative in that age group, be sure to watch this video until the end, because the insights I reveal might completely transform your perspective on healthcare. The first sign I want to describe is so widespread that most individuals tend to overlook it. Yet, once you grasp the true significance of this signal, it becomes evident that the body is trying to alert you to very serious changes. Over the course of my practice, I have identified a distinct pattern of transformation in elderly patients' bodies when it becomes clear that life is drawing to a close. We are not discussing sudden illnesses or accidents, but natural processes that activate as essential functional systems begin to work irregularly. These alterations follow an almost precise sequence, and understanding them can grant you valuable time to make important decisions about your health and life. What is most astonishing is that such signs appear not only in those who are gravely ill, but frequently also. Older adults who believe they are in good health may start noticing certain shifts without realizing that their body is sending a crucial alert. Advances in medical science allow us to identify these signals, but sadly, this knowledge does not always reach those who need it most. Today, I want to break this silence and share what signs you should monitor, either in yourself or in a loved one. Before we dive in, please like this video if you care about senior health and subscribe so you never miss vital, potentially life-saving advice. Now, let us move to the initial sign that demands serious attention. The first indication worth close observation is a progressive change in appetite. This is not merely about eating less. When the body nears a critical stage, it conserves energy through a very specific mechanism. The digestive system, which generally consumes about 20% of daily energy, slows down significantly. This occurs because the body, guided by an ancient instinct, recognizes the need to prioritize resources for essential organs like the heart and lungs. It is important to understand that these changes go beyond just eating smaller portions. The kind of food preferred also shifts considerably. Seniors who once enjoyed gourmet meals may begin favoring simpler, more familiar foods. Some may even resort solely to liquid diets, often highly diluted. Some elderly individuals start eating only soups, while others may refuse solid meals entirely. This happens because the body enters a phase where digestion becomes increasingly challenging. The stomach produces less gastric juice, the intestines contract, and the whole digestive system operates on the edge of its capacity to conserve resources. Scientifically, this occurs because the hypothalamus, the brain region responsible for regulating hunger and thirst, receives signals indicating trouble in vital organs. As a result, it suppresses the sensation of hunger to prevent the body from expending energy on digestion. Family members often worry when an older loved one refuses food, not realizing that this behavior might signal serious physical changes. It is crucial to carefully observe whether a loss of appetite is paired with other symptoms, which I will discuss thoroughly in this video. If you have encountered similar situations, please share your experience in the comments section. Doing so can provide valuable support for others facing comparable challenges right now. However, another concerning symptom frequently accompanies the loss of appetite, and I am going to describe it now. This symptom tends to appear around the same time as changes in eating habits, but is often mistaken for typical aging. We are referring to significant shifts in sleep patterns that emerge as the body prepares for its final stage of life. It is essential to recognize these signs and understand their implications. It is not only the total amount of sleep that changes with age, but also its timing follows a distinctive pattern. The brain of an older individual starts operating in a new way, altering the usual cycle between sleep and wakefulness. The drop in melatonin production, which is the hormone responsible for controlling our biological clock, happens suddenly and dramatically, unlike the slow decline seen during typical aging. Consequently, The person may begin to feel sleepy during the day and alert during the night, causing a major disturbance in their natural rhythm. Yet, few realize that the body adapts cleverly to these sleep changes to save energy. When asleep, metabolic activity decreases by approximately 15%, enabling the body to use fewer resources to keep essential functions running. Therefore, sleeping for longer periods can be viewed as a survival mechanism that the brain activates, recognizing the critical need to conserve every bit of energy available. Research shows that the reduced production of neurotransmitters like serotonin and dopamine plays a crucial role in diminishing daytime alertness and vitality. As their levels fall, the body leans toward a state of minimal energy use, which manifests as deep, extended sleep. Many families grow concerned when an elderly person starts sleeping for as many as 18 or even 20 hours daily, not knowing that this might reflect the body's effort to protect vital energy reserves. It is essential to closely monitor whether there are other signs present before drawing conclusions. Difficulty waking up, confusion, or states that lie somewhere between sleep and full consciousness can be distressing. If you have witnessed this in someone close to you, you understand how challenging it can be to endure. Yet what I am about to share is even more crucial for grasping what happens inside the body of your loved one. The third indicator I urge you to notice involves changes in the skin and how blood circulates. When the body begins to prepare for the final stages of life, it makes a remarkably clever choice. Blood flow is redirected mainly to essential organs like the heart, lungs, and brain, while circulation to the limbs decreases. This means that your arms, legs, hands, and feet receive less blood, which leads to visible symptoms you can learn to identify. First of all, you will notice that the skin on the hands and feet feels cold, even if the surrounding temperature is warm. This occurs because the heart, perhaps weakened, cannot pump blood efficiently throughout the entire body. Consequently, the parts farthest from the heart are the first to suffer from reduced blood supply. There are particular details that not many people know. The skin color changes in a distinctive manner. Fingernails may develop a bluish or purplish hue, especially underneath the nails where blood flow is weakest. This bluish tint, which specialists call cyanosis, clearly indicates that oxygen delivery to different areas of the body is insufficient. From a medical perspective, this occurs because as the heart's force and contractions weaken, the circulation of oxygen through the bloodstream becomes less effective. Venous blood, which appears darker due to lower oxygen content, becomes more noticeable under the skin. In more advanced stages, the skin may develop a faint yellowish hue, or even display purple spots that do not cause any discomfort when touched. These marks, called livido reticularis, happen when the small blood vessels in the skin receive insufficient blood supply. Many individuals are unaware that these skin changes can manifest months before more severe symptoms arise. It acts as a subtle warning from the body, indicating major internal changes are underway. Another key indicator is the increased dryness of the skin, particularly around the mouth and eyes. This occurs because the body holds onto fluids to prioritize critical functions. If you observe these signs in loved ones, stay calm, but make sure to seek medical advice to clarify the situation. If this video has helped you understand these important facts, please like it, so this message can reach as many people as possible. Still, there are clearer symptoms connected with breathing, which I will explain next. One of the most distinct symptoms, often overlooked by family members, is a shift in breathing patterns. This happens when the lungs and the body overall start to prepare for the end of life. Such alterations often provoke worry, but grasping their essence enables us to manage the circumstances and better assist those we care about throughout this challenging time. These subtle details are exactly what will be explored in the following discussion. The heart's function becomes less efficient. It is crucial to observe not only shortness of breath, but also specific modifications in breathing patterns. The initial respiratory sign that emerges is known as Cheney-Stokes breathing. This represents an abnormal breathing rhythm in which a person inhales at uneven intervals. There are episodes of deep breaths, followed by phases of very shallow breaths, or even moments without breathing for several seconds. This occurs because the respiratory control center in the brain, which automatically governs breathing, receives confusing information regarding oxygen and carbon dioxide levels in the bloodstream. When the heart fails to circulate blood properly, the brain obtains less oxygen, causing disruption to the breathing regulation system. Consequently, the breathing pattern becomes irregular, which can be quite distressing. It is essential to realize that this alteration in breathing is more than just a symptom. It indicates that the body is entering an extreme mode of conserving resources. Scientifically, this is explained by the fact that the brainstem, housing the respiratory center, is among the last regions impacted by dysfunctions in the body. Even this critical area remains operational longer during system failures. The region starts to suffer from a shortage of oxygen. This indication shows that the body is facing challenges in sustaining essential life functions. Another alteration in breathing to be aware of is a rise in the rate of inhalations. Even if a person is resting or experiencing symptoms, speaking in full sentences becomes progressively harder. This occurs because the lungs increase their efforts, attempting to offset the reduced performance of the heart. Many individuals remain unaware that these modifications in breathing may take place during sleep as well. If you observe someone making unusual noises while breathing at night or struggling to breathe when lying down, this could be a crucial signal. The body, using its inherent wisdom, strives to maintain oxygen delivery to vital organs, but encounters growing obstacles. If you detect such changes in a loved one, it is crucial to promptly seek assistance from experienced professionals. Yet, what I am about to share may come as a greater surprise since it relates to changes in consciousness and behavior. The fifth indicator that I must explain is possibly the hardest for family members to recognize, but it is also one of the most important for comprehending the bodily processes preparing for the final stages of life. This concerns mental and behavioral disturbances that develop due to a reduction in oxygen supply and nutrient delivery to the brain, undergoes changes that go beyond the common confusion or forgetfulness often linked to aging, instead involving specific disorders that unfold in a clearly defined order. The earliest sign is an increasing difficulty in maintaining focus during conversations, even on subjects that once sparked great enthusiasm. This happens because the brain begins conserving energy by progressively reducing its activity. Attention must be given to vital bodily functions, such as supporting the heart and lungs. Tasks demanding intense mental effort, like processing complicated information or sustaining concentration for extended durations, become harder to manage. Many individuals do not recognize that these cognitive alterations are not random, but follow a particular progression. Initially, there is a loss of interest in activities that were once enjoyable, such as watching television shows, engaging with family members, or pursuing hobbies. Subsequently, issues arise with recalling recent experiences, while memories from the distant past remain sharp and vivid. This occurs because the brain conserves energy by prioritizing the retention of the oldest and most significant memories, which are stored more efficiently. From a scientific perspective, this is linked to the hippocampus, the part of the brain responsible for forming new memories, a process demanding considerable energy when the body shifts into an energy-saving mode. This region of the brain is the first to show reduced activity. As a result, a person might forget events that occurred just 1 hour earlier, yet still recall childhood memories vividly. Another common behavioral change is withdrawing from social interactions. Someone who once enjoyed spending time with family and friends may begin to isolate themselves, speak less, and slowly pull away from those around them. It is important to distinguish this state from ordinary depression. Being aware of and preparing your body for this natural shift is crucial. Many families become concerned, thinking their elderly relative no longer wants to be with them. In reality, the brain reallocates energy toward preserving essential bodily functions. If you have encountered a similar situation with a loved one, please share your experience in the comments. Now, I will describe signs that show up on your hands, which can help you comprehend what is occurring within your body. These changes in the limbs can reveal vital information about the body's condition as one approaches death. We are referring to alterations caused by blood supply being focused solely on key organs. Take note that the signs go beyond ordinary feelings of coldness. They involve specific developments that happen in a particular sequence. The first noticeable symptom is swelling in the hands and feet, but it is not the kind you usually experience. This kind of swelling, what is known as dense swelling, is not merely caused by fluid buildup, but results from the heart struggling to return blood from the limbs to the central parts of the body. When you press your finger onto the swollen skin, an indentation appears and lingers for several seconds, resembling a mark left by compressing dough. This happens because the lymphatic system, which plays a vital role in removing excess fluid from the tissues, is not functioning properly. Understanding this aspect is crucial to grasp the underlying cause. Few people realize that nails are also affected, exhibiting very particular changes. They may thicken, develop a yellowish hue, or even begin to detach from the skin. This occurs because the cells responsible for nail growth lack sufficient nutrients to develop correctly. In more advanced cases, one might observe rounding of the fingertips. In medical terminology, this is referred to as clubbing of the fingers. Scientifically, this condition arises when there is an insufficient supply of oxygen carried by the blood to the extremities, causing cells in the fingers to start deteriorating. The body attempts to counter this by increasing blood flow to these areas, which leads to their enlargement. Another significant change to pay attention to involves difficulties when performing everyday tasks with the hands. For instance, struggling to fasten buttons or grasp objects while experiencing a noticeable decline in hand strength cannot simply be chalked up to muscle fatigue or weakness. Such symptoms indicate deeper issues beyond ordinary muscle decline. The symptoms suggest that the nervous system, which controls precise motor functions, is suffering from a shortage of energy. Many individuals are unaware that such changes in the limbs can manifest well before any pain or severe discomfort appears. These are subtle signals from the body that reveal crucial internal processes taking place. If you observe similar signs in those close to you, it is essential not to disregard them and make sure to consult a specialist immediately. If this information proves helpful, please share it with others. Subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications to receive more valuable insights capable of transforming your life. There are also more remarkable symptoms related to the fluids within our bodies. Now, I will explain these in detail. The seventh symptom I want to mention involves alterations in fluid secretion and bowel movements. This subject often feels awkward for many families, yet it can provide vital clues about the body's functioning as it approaches the final stages of life. These irregularities go beyond common intestinal or urinary issues. They signify specific malfunctions reflecting the kidneys and intestines reacting to the body, shifting into a mode focused on conserving maximum resources. One of the earliest noticeable changes includes a pronounced difference in urine volume and color. When the kidneys begin to operate less effectively, the body excretes less fluid, which becomes highly concentrated, darker in hue, and emits a strong smell. This occurs because the kidneys strive to preserve moisture by lowering the amount of water filtered and enhancing fluid retention within the bloodstream. Few individuals realize that the color of urine can reveal significant information about kidney health. When urine turns yellow, deep dark, orange, or even brownish, it signals that the kidneys are struggling to filter toxins properly from the blood. Scientifically, this happens because a decrease in cardiac output causes reduced blood pressure in the kidneys, impairing their ability to filter effectively. Additionally, changes in intestinal function play a crucial role. A person might suffer from severe constipation, going several days without a bowel movement, or enduring persistent diarrhea. These problems arise because the digestive system receives less energy and reduced blood flow, causing irregular activity of the intestinal muscles. Often, families fail to understand that these bowel issues are directly connected to circulatory system complications when the heart cannot pump blood adequately. The kidneys and intestines are among the first organs to show signs of functional decline. In more advanced cases, the patient may face urinary or fecal incontinence. This happens not because of a loss of conscious control, but due to the progressive deterioration of organ function. The muscles controlling the sphincters do not obtain sufficient energy from the nervous system. There is also a significant change that deserves attention. A person might naturally start to drink less water, even when it is readily available. This reaction is not due to stubbornness, but is the body's way of signaling that the kidneys are no longer fully capable of processing fluids. If you are looking after someone in this condition, it is crucial to protect their dignity and seek expert medical assistance to gain a clearer understanding of what is happening. Now I will discuss the most important and possibly the final sign in this series. The eighth and concluding sign is perhaps the most meaningful and insightful of all previously described. It relates to alterations in body temperature and the way the body manages heat regulation. As life nears its end, the body struggles to maintain a consistent and normal temperature near 36 degrees Celsius. This difficulty leads to specific signs that can be identified with careful observation. Losing the capacity to regulate warmth is more than simply feeling chilly. It represents a fundamental change in how the body allocates its energy. The initial notable indication is that the individual begins to feel cold, even when in a comfortably warm environment. They may require additional blankets or warmer clothing. This happens because metabolism slows down, producing less internal heat. Interestingly, some parts of the body, such as the forehead and chest, may feel warmer than usual despite the overall sensation of coldness. This contrast reflects the complex shifts occurring within the body during this stage. The body directs the available warmth to its vital organs, which is why temperature changes happen unevenly. The limbs, such as the arms and legs, cool down while the core remains warm. This sharp contrast is easy to feel when touching the skin. Scientifically, this occurs because the hypothalamus, the brain region responsible for controlling temperature, receives conflicting signals about the body's condition. If the heart struggles to pump blood properly, the brain interprets this as an emergency and conserves heat for critical organs. Many people do not realize that during these temperature fluctuations, intense night sweats may develop. This is not a sign of fever, but a natural attempt by the body to adjust to ongoing changes. It becomes crucial to manage this temperature imbalance. In more serious cases, you might observe the skin becoming damp and clammy, especially around the neck and chest. The 8 symptoms that I am about to share are the body's messages signaling that natural transitions are underway. These are not indications of despair, but rather signs that the body is executing an age-old adaptation process. Recognizing these signals offers valuable time to make important decisions, engage in meaningful discussions, and provide proper care for those you cherish. If you observe such changes, it is vital to acknowledge their purpose. If you notice any of these symptoms in someone you care about, do not rush into panic, but instead reach out for expert medical advice to gain a clearer understanding of what is happening. Keep in mind that having knowledge equips you to support and protect those who mean the most to you. In the following video, I will share with you 3 eye-related indicators that can uncover even more profound messages from the body.